Billionaires dropping hundreds of millions of dollars on mega mansions so big they make the White House look like a guest house. And then, nobody lives in them. Not for a day, not for a night. These marble palaces with gold-plated staircases and swimming pools longer than city blocks sit in eerie silence. The gardens are trimmed, the chandeliers sparkle, the security cameras blink red, but not a single soul calls them home. And here's the controversial truth. These ghost mansions are more than just abandoned luxury. They're monuments to greed, fear, and even corruption. Today, we're going inside 5 of the world's most infamous billionaire ghost mansions, where luxury meets horror and the price of excess leaves nothing but shadows. Point 1. Huguette Clark's Cold War Castle, a billionaire who refused to move in. Imagine buying a 20,000 square foot French-style chateau on 52 acres of prime American soil, and then never stepping foot inside. That's exactly what copper heiress Huguette Clark did with her estate in New Canaan. Built as a hideaway during the Cold War, this place had 9 bedrooms, a ballroom, a private gym, tennis courts, and a swimming pool the size of a small lake. The cost of upkeep? Over $40,000 a month, just to keep an empty house breathing. Why? Because Huguette Clark was terrified. Afraid of kidnappings, afraid of strangers, afraid of the outside world. Instead, she locked herself in a Manhattan hospital room for 20 years, while this chateau stood polished and waiting, but utterly lifeless. The eerie part: staff were paid just to dust rooms nobody entered and water flowers nobody smelled. This mansion isn't just a house. It's a chilling symbol of what happens when wealth turns into paranoia. The richer she got, the more she locked herself away. That's not luxury. That's a prison without bars. Point 2. Linwood Hall, the Titanic mansion of death. Next up, the so-called American Versailles. Built by billionaire Peter A.B. Widener in Pennsylvania, Linwood Hall had 110 rooms, gold leaf ceilings, and an art collection so valuable it could rival a European museum. The construction cost? Equivalent of $300 million today. But here's the curse. His son and grandson boarded the Titanic in 1912 and never returned. From that moment, Linwood Hall was never truly alive again. The family line collapsed into tragedy, and the mansion became a cavern of sorrow. Today, it's empty. Dusty halls, peeling wallpaper, broken chandeliers swaying like nooses in the dark. People who've stepped inside swear the house feels heavy, like the grief never left. Locals call it one of America's most haunted properties. And honestly, how could it not be? When a house is built on a dream and destroyed by tragedy, it becomes a tomb in disguise. Point 3. Mobutu's Versailles of Africa, a dictator's playground consumed by jungle. If there was ever a mansion that looked like it came straight out of a Bond villain's imagination, it was Mobutu Sese Seko's palace in Gabatalite, Congo. Picture this. In the middle of the African jungle, a dictator rises to power in the 1960s and decides to build his own Versailles. And not just a copy, but a mega compound that would make European kings jealous. The cost? Hundreds of millions, all siphoned directly from the country's coffers while ordinary citizens lived in poverty. This palace was a grotesque symbol of excess. Imported Italian marble lined the halls. Crystal chandeliers dangled above hand-woven Persian rugs. The palace had its own airstrip large enough for Concorde jets because Mobutu loved flying in luxury. Private villas dotted the complex, one for each of his many wives and mistresses. A swimming pool shimmered with imported tiles, while gold-plated bathroom fixtures gleamed even in candlelight. And let's not forget, the place was guarded by soldiers around the clock, because even surrounded by splendor, Mobutu lived in constant fear of being overthrown. But here's where it gets dark. Locals whisper that Mobutu performed strange rituals in those halls, desperate to cling to power. They say entire rooms were dedicated to storing looted treasure, diamonds hidden in walls, and gold bars stacked like bricks. His enemies claim the palace was cursed, built on suffering and corruption, and when Mobutu was finally forced out in 1997, the curse seemed real. Overnight, his Versailles was abandoned. Nature began to take back what was stolen. Today, vines creep through shattered windows, snakes slither across marble floors, and bats hang from ceilings where lavish banquets once took place. Rain pours through collapsed roofs, flooding what was once the pride of a dictator. The eeriest part? Locals refuse to go near after dark. Some claim they hear music echoing through the empty halls, phantom parties of the corrupt elite. Others say the spirits of those who suffered under Mobutu's reign linger in the palace, refusing to leave. What was meant to be the grandest home in Africa has become a jungle ghost town, a chilling reminder that stolen wealth always rots in the end. Point 4. Billionaires Row, London's empty gold cages. Now let's leave the jungles of Congo and head straight to one of the richest cities on earth, London. Tucked away in North London lies a street so infamous it's earned the nickname Billionaires Row. Here's the kicker. These aren't vibrant homes filled with family dinners or luxury parties. They're empty. Entire mansions worth between $30 million and $100 million each stand silent, decaying behind tall hedges and rusted gates. Walk down this road at night, and it feels like a horror movie set. Windows are smashed. Gardens are overgrown, swallowing statues and fountains. Curtains hang half-ripped, swaying in the wind. And the strangest thing, furniture still sits inside. Tables are set with silverware, ashtrays filled with cigarette butts, as if the owners just vanished mid-party and never returned. Who owns these places? Oligarchs, oil magnates, foreign billionaires who don't even live in the UK. They bought these homes not to live in, but to hide wealth, to launder money, to park millions in real estate instead of banks. And that's the scandal. While Londoners struggle to afford a shoebox-sized apartment, entire blocks of mega mansions rot in silence because they're just money cages. The controversial part. Local residents say the emptiness makes the neighborhood feel unsafe, eerie, even cursed. Imagine living in a city with a housing crisis so bad people sleep on the streets, while just a few blocks away, 10-bedroom palaces sit boarded up. It's the ultimate symbol of inequality. Ghost mansions gleaming with marble floors that no one walks on, gold taps that pour water no one drinks, and chandeliers that sparkle only for dust. And if you think this is just London, think again. Billionaire ghost mansions are popping up in every major city. From New York penthouses to Miami waterfront estates, they're not homes anymore. They're just hiding spots for money. And that's what makes them scarier than any haunted house. They're not haunted by ghosts, they're haunted by greed. Point 5. The One, America's $500 million mansion nobody wanted. Finally, let's talk about the one in Bel Air, Los Angeles. And believe me, this mansion isn't just big, it's obscene. Over 105,000 square feet of pure excess. We're talking 21 bedrooms, 42 bathrooms, a 30-car garage, a private nightclub, a casino, a spa, a sky deck with a 360-degree view of the city, and 5 swimming pools. The developer, Niall Niami, dreamed of selling it for $500 million, making it the most expensive home in America. But here's where reality slapped him in the face. The One was too big, too impractical, too soulless. It wasn't a home. It was a monument to arrogance. The property sat empty for years, bleeding money faster than it could attract buyers. Maintenance alone cost millions annually. Staff had to be paid just to keep it clean. The pools had to be treated weekly, and the electricity bills were astronomical. Imagine burning $50,000 a month just to keep lights on in a house nobody lives in. Eventually, the dream collapsed. Niami's company went bankrupt, creditors swarmed, and the mega mansion went to auction. Instead of $500 million, it sold for just $126 million. A humiliating fall from grace. But here's the most chilling part. Even after being sold, it still sits mostly empty. Because who in their right mind wants to live in a property that feels more like an airport terminal than a home? Walking through the one feels eerie. The nightclub is silent, its neon lights reflecting on empty dance floors. The bowling alley echoes with nothing but the hum of air conditioning. The 30-car garage shines like a showroom, but no engines ever roar to life. Its luxury stripped of any humanity. And the controversy? The one represents the dark side of modern wealth. It was designed to be the pinnacle of success, but it turned into a warning sign. Bigger doesn't mean better. In fact, it can mean emptier. A mega mansion that was supposed to crown a billionaire king became a lifeless shell, a real estate monster that nobody wanted to claim.